Frog here with a read-along story to share. All you have to do is look at your book, listen, and turn the page every time you hear this bell. Here we go now. In his laboratory at the Muppet Theater, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew was hard at work. Not yet, Beaker. Pouring some clear liquid into a test tube, Bunsen held it up and showed it to his assistant, Beaker, with a proud smile. Not yet, Beaker. Hang on, will you?
At last!
Bunsen exclaimed.
My formula for nose glow is complete. This remarkable substance will illuminate. It will enlighten. It will...
Meep! Asked Beaker. You see, meep was the only sound Beaker could make, and only Bunsen could understand it.
Nose glow will cause the nose of any living creature to glow in the dark. It's a special surprise for Gonzo,
Bunsen explained. I love that bell. Did you turn the page? Okay. Gonzo was in his room admiring his mold collection.
Green and slimy, brown and shiny, old and gold and golden.
Camilla, his favorite chicken, was hungry. Her dish was empty, and they were fresh out of chicken feed.
Try a little of this,
said Gonzo, putting some mold into her dish. But no dice. She refused with an indignant squawk.
Oh, all right, I'll buy you some feed at the store,
Gonzo said, and he hurried off. A few minutes later, Beaker rushed into Gonzo's room, carrying a test tube of nose glow. Oh dear. He was walking so fast that he tripped over Camilla, and the nose glow spilled right into her dish. A very strange smell filled the air. Camilla seemed to like the smell. Before Beaker could stop her, she'd eaten everything in her dish. Moaned Beaker. You see, Camilla wasn't supposed to eat the nose glow. Beaker ran off in panic.
Chow time!
Gonzo came back carrying a big sack of chicken feed.
Oh my gosh, Camilla! Is that you? Camilla, you're as big as a...
A deep, loud cluck greeted him, and an amazing sight met his eyes. Camilla had grown. She was...
as big as a pony!
What is that?
What was that?
Hey, what's going on?
Camilla was so loud that Fozzie, Miss Piggy, and yes, even I, Kermit, came to see what was making the noise.
Heavens, Camilla, you've gained weight.
Miss Piggy said.
This reminds me of a joke.
Said Fozzie.
Camilla, what did the 200-pound chicken say, huh? I guess you heard it already.
I looked up at Camilla. That's no joke, I said. Gonzo was overjoyed.
Wow!
He thought.
Normal size, Camilla is wonderful. Giant size, she's almost too good to be true. We could do a new act together. Wild Bill Gonzo and his clucking bronco. I'll get Camilla a saddle and do sharpshooting tricks from her back with a musical pea shooter.
He could hardly wait to start rehearsing. But all Camilla wanted to do was eat.
Gosh, she ate up all the chicken feed,
said Fozzie. You know, Gonzo, I said, I think she's getting bigger.
Yep, definitely,
said Fozzie, and it was true. Camilla was turning into...
an elephant-sized chicken?
An elephant-sized chicken. While Gonzo was wondering what to feed her, Camilla pecked around in his closet and gobbled up one of his sneakers. Then she clucked again and crashed out the door.
Oh, brother. You see that? Oh, Gonzo.
Maybe we should follow her, I suggested nervously. Just then there were some screams from down the hall. It was Miss Piggy.
Oh, Kermit, help!
She cried.
It's Camilla. She's sitting on Bunsen Honeydew. I think she's trying to hatch him.
The great Gonzo thought fast. He swung his lasso in the air and roped Camilla. Then, with a little help from his friends, he pulled her off Bunsen Honeydew and tied her up. Camilla flapped her wings and squawked so angrily that the walls shook. Honeydew, I said, we've got to shrink this chicken. She's too big. She's getting dangerous.
I couldn't agree more,
said Bunsen, and he got to work. A few minutes later, Bunsen came back with a test tube.
This should do it.
He said hopefully. Gonzo poured the formula into Camilla's dish. She drank it down in one gulp. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, she turned purple.
She just keeps getting more beautiful,
said Gonzo.
I'll try again,
sighed Bunsen. Soon he was back with another test tube. Gonzo emptied it into Camilla's dish. She drank it up. Everyone was very quiet. Then, Camilla started barking like a dog. A very big dog. Miss Piggy's poodle, Foo-Foo, ran out of the theater in terror. Oh dear, Foo-Foo, come back! Piggy ran after him, but she wasn't fast enough. Foo-Foo was so frightened he practically flew away. And Miss Piggy burst into tears. When Beaker heard Miss Piggy crying, he came out of hiding. He asked, and Miss Piggy told him all about Camilla, how she'd grown big as an elephant, and how her loud barking scared Foo-Foo away, and how Camilla even sat on Bunsen and tried to hatch him. Well, naturally, Beaker felt terrible. He hurried to tell Bunsen about spilling the nose glow into Camilla's dish.
She ate a mixture of nose glow and mold? Well, I know how to fix that.
In a few minutes, Bunsen was back with another formula. Camilla drank it down. First, she turned white. Then she started to shrink.
I've done it.
What a relief, I said. But Camilla kept shrinking. Soon she was even smaller than Rizzo the rat.
Oh, no!
Gonzo's heart sank. Camilla was so tiny she could never be his clucking bronco now.
This is tragic,
he cried. But Rizzo the rat didn't think it was tragic.
I've got a great idea. Now that Camilla's so small, she can dance in our rat ballet.
You mean Chicken Lake? I asked. I thought about it for a moment. Well, I don't know. It's sort of up to Camilla, isn't it? Then I leaned down to Camilla. Well, I asked, how do you feel about dancing the starring role in the ballet? Her answer was a pleased little puff and a pirouette. Rizzo said,
I guess that settles it.
I guess it does. And he led Camilla away to be fitted for a tutu. That night, Camilla danced Chicken Lake as it had never been danced before. She was the most graceful chicken ballerina anyone had ever seen. The audience loved her. Backstage, Gonzo wiped a tear from his eye. All he could think about was how he'd lost Camilla to Rizzo the rat. He wished he could have his old Camilla back, the normal one. Suddenly, Gonzo heard a confused murmur from the audience. He looked through the curtain. All of Rizzo's rats were staring at Camilla. She was growing. As everyone watched in amazement, she got bigger and bigger until she was back to her normal size. Jumping for joy, Gonzo yelled,
It's a miracle!
No, it's just the formula wearing off.
said Bunsen.
I knew that might happen, so I've been working on a new, improved formula for Camilla. When she drinks it, she'll be able to hop like a kangaroo and play the maracas. She'll be a star.
Gonzo put his arm around Camilla and said firmly,
No thanks, Bunsen. Camilla doesn't need a formula to make her a star. She's perfect, just the way she is.
look at that.
Yes.
And he let her off to get some chicken feed.
This is great.
Later that night, when everyone was asleep, Bunsen Honeydew heard a strange sound outside his door. It was a soft, feathery tapping, followed by a low, almost whispered clucking noise. He opened the door. There stood Camilla, wearing a Mexican hat and holding maracas and a book called
Jumping for fun and profit?
Bunsen's eyes lit up.
Camilla, you mean you'd like to be a chicken jumping bean after all?
Said Camilla, shaking her maracas.
Then I'll get right to work on the formula.
And he did.